Those who are joining, just let me know. Just let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. And then we can just check. So let me just make sure that sound-wise we are good. Okay, we're good on TikTok. Let me check on Facebook that we're fine there too. Okay, we're good over that side. Let me just check on YouTube. Yes, Wonga. We're back. We're back. We're back. I'm just making sure that everything is fine. So guys, today is going to be an open discussion evening show. How open discussions work is that you suggest some topics, then we pick one or two of them and we discuss them as a panel. Maybe it's something that we haven't discussed before, and things like that. I usually do it after we've had a heavy day. And I feel like today was just a little bit heavy in terms of what we were speaking about and how it went hard. Dachi, we're going to do MTN8 final tomorrow. I'm going to have the press conferences and everything, and then we can go for it. Should stop this thing of using the same panel every time. It's not the same panel. Today we had 16 people, 20 people who spoke today. 309. Hey, number 309. Why are you doing that to me? So yeah, guys, so while I start, just think of some topics, a topic or two that you'd want to discuss that maybe we haven't discussed and we can speak about it. I'm going to go ahead and start the show. Welcome, everybody, to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mukwena. I'm your host. This show happens every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. You'll also be able to watch the show. We also do watch-alongs over the weekend and during the week for the big three, where possible. 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock is not a good time. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. For those who are joining me on Facebook and on YouTube, and you're wondering how you can add your voice to the show, how you can add your voice to the panels, just know that you have to be following me on TikTok. Join me while I'm live on TikTok. Then there comes a time when I'll tell you to open up. I'll tell you that I'm opening up the lines. At the bottom of your screen, a button that says multi-guest will appear, and then you'll be able to jump on and we'll be able to speak. You'll be able to add your voice to the show. Let me see. So guys, get your topics ready. It's an open discussion night. And then also, let me just bring it up. Also, guys, thank you to those that have donated. Thank you so much to those that have donated. You don't know how much it helps, how much it means to me that you guys are donating. If you cannot donate to this Capitec account, you can also join the membership that is available on YouTube. I have 3 levels, 20 Rand, 60 Rand, and 150 Rand per month. You can choose whichever one, but guys, please support your content creators as we try and create these platforms and try and give you guys voices as well. Then I told you guys it's Casual Overthinkers 20 Rand, Dedicated Overthinkers 60 Rand, and then Elite Overthinkers 150 Rand, and each of them come with different perks. So you'll be able to find them there. Shout out to Exquisite Moments Photo and Video and Pumin Dobeni, who are Casual Overthinkers on YouTube. And then also Sarani, Tosta, and Winelo, who are subscribed on TikTok. So guys, please support us. So guys, the topic is an open discussion. You guys come up with the topic today. We had a heavy day today. So tell me what you guys want to speak about, then we can speak about it, and we can go from there. Jero, I have Roy dancing there because as part of the perks of being a subscriber, you can use the Roy emojis inside your replies. So they're available on YouTube and also available on TikTok. So if you subscribe on either of those, you're able to use those special emojis that I have there. And then one last thing before we get into it. Linda Mtambo is hosting a tournament for under 15s this weekend in Soweto. It's going to be 2 weekends. This weekend is the last 16 and last 8 rounds. It's both male and female. And then next weekend, it's going to be excuse me, next weekend it's going to be the finals of that. So please, if you're around Soweto, go and support these young players as they go on and try to do something big. Okay, let's see. Let's not talk about the Soweto derby, not yet. We'll talk about the derby when it's derby time. We spoke about VAR the other day, Jero. We spoke about VAR the other day, but I'll go ahead and jump in. Let's talk about the finances of the PSL in terms of financial fair play and things like that. Heard that Liverpool wants a replay. I'm just saying, Malume Kutso, I'm just saying. When I said it, people said some things, you know. So let's talk about this financial stuff and what could possibly work within the PSL to help curb some of this spending that everybody speaks about. And to Sundowns fans, guys, it's not a hate of Sundowns. It's just to speak in general, because a lot of these teams are allegedly struggling with finances. So the one that everybody always brings up is financial fair play. We'll speak about that model first. Guys, remember that financial fair play basically means you spend what you make. So if you have 10 deals and you're getting money from those 10 deals, then you can spend the money that you've made, and then it's fine, it's fair. Your owners are not allowed to jump in and put in money that hasn't been earned by the club. It won't work in SA. It will not work in SA, mainly because in South Africa, there's three main clubs that you can say can pretty much justify what they make. Kaizer Chiefs is one of them, being a huge commercial brand. They can justify getting more sponsors and actually get more sponsors in order to justify spending. Mamelodi Sundowns is now moving into that space with more Red Bull, with certain other sponsors, where they can come in and say, guys, this is how we're justifying our spending. And Orlando Pirates is the third one that I believe. It's not going to help a Richards Bay. It's not going to help a Cheaper. Because they're not going to be able to pull that type of money, that type of sponsorship from a corporate or from wherever in order to justify their bankrolling. So what will end up happening is exactly what's happening right now. There'll be three teams that are going to be able to get those sponsors at a level where they're going to be able to justify huge spending, and the rest of the league won't be able to do it. So that's why it's not going to work. It's just two teams. You're being generous. Well, Malume Kuts, I'm saying Sundowns. I'm adding Sundowns to this because Sundowns have now got that Red Bull thing. They've been playing in Africa for a while. They've got a footprint in the rest of the continent. So if push came to shove, if we're saying with sponsorship, and you look at the PSL, who are you going to sponsor in the PSL outside of Chiefs and Pirates? It's going to be Sundowns, because that's going to be an active Sundowns. That will be an active Sundowns in Africa that you can spin. So the rest of the teams won't be able to get any reasonable money for them to be able to spend and justify signing a 51 million rand person from South America. If they can't justify and spend the money right now, they're not going to be able to do it later on. You know, at least Sundowns is now going for sponsors, is now bringing in Abo Live Nation, is now bringing in all those guys. But when we speak about financial fair play, I think what I want to add is that there's different models to do this, and maybe let's discuss the different models. So firstly, you've got financial fair play, spend what you make, and then you got salary caps. So if you guys are fans of American sports, a lot of the American teams, what they use is what they call a salary cap system, where each team can only spend up to a certain point. And if you are richer and you want to spend more, there's a tax attached to that. What that does is that it keeps everybody on the same level. So Sundowns, for example, would not be able to spend 200 million on a player, depending on what they say is going to be the cutoff. In the NBA and NFL, they also do things like cutting how much players can actually spend and get and all of that stuff. So that system might be something we can look into. But guys, jump in and let's talk about it. If you want to suggest any other conversation, we can look at it. So let me just see who's here. Malume Kutso, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm well, how are you, Mr. OT?
I'm okay. I didn't want to have another heavy day, man.
Yeah, I understand. Something light, yeah.
Something like Nyana. So tell me what you think about this financial fair play situation.
I've always held with the in SA it would never work. I think the financial fair play is for established leagues,
Okay.
not leagues that are developing that are trying to go somewhere. You'd be shooting yourself in the foot to limit yourself this early in your development. At least if we're already spending 3 billion on players like other leagues are, then it would make sense to apply financial fair play. If you look at what we're trying to do, I believe we're trying to, as a country and as a league, have a footprint in the world. One understand, not just limited to local football. And if you're trying to do that, you have to attract the Marcelos, the Kanakimang, the Costas. One understand. So we really can't. Yeah, I know it's not about Sundowns, but I think they are the standout team in this conversation. We really can't limit them. What they're doing benefits all of us. One understand. In a sense in which when they play against Al Ahly or when they play against a wider Casablanca, that's a game that has international viewing. Yes, the social time is international viewing, but in that case, in terms of continental football, then they can make us proud, I understand, and display good football. And also, they are somewhat becoming, and it's making the entire league, if you look at it, become an option for those South American guys
Okay.
to say, actually, there's some cream there. You can go and play. You when they come to SA, that's the nice thing about SA. When people come here, they find good facilities.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? That's the other benefit of the World Cup that we sometimes ignore. With it. When the Marcelos, when the kind of African teams visit us, they get to play Peter Kaba. They get to see Iwo. This is really nice. This is world class. I understand.
Yeah.
And they get
Okay, go on.
they get to tell their friends, hey, Gonzalez, there's another team here that needs a striker. Send your CV. They might accept you. Kanakema, who's that other guy, the goal scoring guy, good Chiefs?
Or Castillo.
Yes, they're able to say Castillo. There's something good there. Good facilities. You'll be comfortable. You live Cosentin, or you won't live go the places you see on TV. Also, way to know you live at for life. And also, it's not just Sundowns. Actually, I just thought about it. Cape Town City has a lot of South Americans as well.
Yeah.
So I think all of that is off the back of Sundowns, what they did with Usorino, how they paid Usorino, how they treated Usorino. It also allows us to get the other cheaper guys. So for now, as a country, we really can't limit. In as much as I sometimes sound like I hate on them, but I'm happy that they are able to spend the money that they spend to get the quality that they need, especially if it's international quality, especially if it's former captain. You see that signing?
Yeah.
That signing is the one. Former under 23 captain of the Chile national team. Not someone coming out, a former star. Not well, he's still young, but a former prospect, an oligarch of some sort. Yeah, Chile, where they were like, this is the next Sanchez. See that signing is top of the table. So I like it.
I'm gonna come back. Let me bring you to Chero. Chero, how are you doing, my brother?
Hey, right, man.
No, I'm okay, my brother. I'm okay. Tell me, what do you think about financial fair play? Do you think it could work in South Africa? Should they try put it in?
Hey, I agree with Goto. We still need more money, you know.
Mara,
No.
your owners are not spending money. Your owners have free range, but they're not doing anything with that free range.
Well, are you sure Goto they don't have money? Maybe one or two. But Abo Richards, I don't think they have money to spend. You know, I remember my respect United had to sell players every season to survive. So
Yeah.
some of the teams, and talking about this topic, I was listening to the Cape Town City owner, John Committee. Is it John Committee?
Yeah, John Committees, yeah.
Yeah. So he was speaking on Robert Marawa's show. I think when he was still on SAPC, he was saying, "I'm a betting companies, and they are willing to sell. They are willing to sponsor teams in PSL. Remember, Cape Town had a betting sponsor before. It wasn't Betway. It was
Sport Pesa.
yes. So he was saying even about Hollywood and about Betway, they are willing, but our teams are scared to be sponsored by these betting companies. If you remember, I think it was not Burnley. There was another club in the
In
Premier League
England, yeah.
which was sponsored by Hollywood Bets. You remember?
I'm
So
just forgetting the name.
yeah, and even me, it's escaping my mind. But he was saying, Guti, I'm betting companies are willing to sponsor our PSL teams because Jengabo Korean Arrows and Marisburg United, Richards Bay, all of those clubs, they need that money. But
Mara,
somehow PSL.
isn't it a conflict of interest? Conflict of interest.
Well, that's where the money is, unfortunately. We have to no, listen, we have to put some regulations. But you cannot stop ukuthi ubhethwe sponsor a team. But we have to put our strict regulations because we need money. We are desperate. If you wanna say
surely they can go out and get some other sponsors.
but they've been failing. But they've been failing. That's the point. A team like Golden Arrows has been in the PSL for the past 10 years. They can't get sponsors.
15 years, 25 years.
Look at their jersey. They look at their jersey. They've got an ugly jersey for years. They can't even get Puma or Kappa or to sponsor them. So any income, my brother, you get, you have to take it. As long as we're gonna follow our regulations, APSL, not to sell games or stuff like that.
Yeah.
But to be honest, there's about 8 or 9 teams which needs money. The top 4 or 5, okay, they're okay, but the rest, about Cheaper, United, all those teams needs money.
But then if they can't get money now, will financial fair play help them at all, or are we raising the standard of South African football through Sundowns and Sundowns alone, for example?
That's why I'm saying, Wuti, for now, if financial fair play is not for us, so now we need as much money as possible to improve our sports. So to put this in those financial fair play I don't think it's gonna help us.
Okay. Let me bring in Lyrical Pope. How are you doing, my brother?
Sure.
I'm good, host. How are you?
I'm okay. Tell me, firstly, what do you support so I know how to treat you?
I am a coach like you, my man.
Welcome. Put your feet up. You are at home.
We're in the same boat. Even if it's sinking. On the same boat, my man.
Tell me, what do you think about financial fair play? Should it be something that the league should bring in? Should it be something that the team should be accepting?
My man, I don't think it's going to work for us, financial fair play, because specifically for Kaizer, we don't spend. we don't spend any money.
Yeah.
We have the best sponsors. We have the best sponsors, man. I remember, I don't know now, but Chiefs always has sponsors that give them money. I remember a few years back, like a lot of years back, it was us and Pirates. We were getting 50 million from Vodacom each.
Now
or was it 100?
Now it's a lot more.
You know what I'm saying? But Chiefs couldn't even spend 10 million on one player. You see? So I feel like things like financial fair play, it's not for us. It's not for our league. Especially for our team, Chiefs, because they don't spend. Money comes in, it doesn't go out. And teams like Sundowns, even though I hate Sundowns, but they spend because they also have a billionaire backing them. You know what I'm saying? So they have resources on resources. You know, so
But other teams have billionaires.
yeah, true. But then I feel like maybe we need to look at how we are spending the money. Which markets are we spending the money in? Because I feel like Sundowns, it has the blueprint. We should look at Sundowns because they have the blueprint. Because if we are being fair, Sundowns is going to the South American countries, and those countries, if we look at our economy versus their economy, we are far superior. But they are far superior in terms of their players, in terms of the development of players. Because Chiefs now, we used to go to Zimbabwe. we used to go, in Africa, you know. Buy one, get two free, you know.
Get by.
So I feel like if we could start looking into the South American markets as proper. The last guy we bought from there that was proper was Torre Elba, and he was a former Sundowns signing, you know. So if we go there ourselves and we establish scouts there, because we had players who played there. Didn't Zwane play for Santos there for a season or so?
I'm not sure if he played there, but
yeah, Zwane was there, even though he didn't last. But Zwane was there for Santos. So they have interest in us. And we have the economy that's stronger than them. So if we go there and we invest, even before financial fair play, with the money that we have now, we go and invest and we build scouting networks. Then we can see about all financial fair play. And all that, because we have the facility.
3 teams. Won't it only benefit the 3 teams that can generate money commercially?
I feel like I see your standpoint, but I feel like if those 3 teams have the capability, host, but 3 teams have the capability, but only one is performing. You see, so I'm looking at a step ladder. If 3 can do this, but only one is doing this, we can't go and look at the league as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So if we start with these 3 and we have 3 different squads that are doing this, you know, then we can go and say, how do we expand the league? Because Sundowns is sitting pretty, they're unbeaten, aren't they? And then they're not even, they're winning games without even going out of gear 1. And it's sad. It's very sad. So I'm saying that if these 3 teams can start to compete, and then we look at the other teams, you know.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll come back. Let me bring in Alejandro. When did you become Alejandro, Hendricks? When did you become Alejandro? Are you leaving us now and going to South America?
I just managed to change the name.
Are you with me?
Yeah, you can say that, my brother. How's it,
No, I'm good, my brother. I'm good. Tell
me.
What
I'm with you. Don't worry, I'm with you, my brother.
What do you think of this FFP thing? Will it work for South Africa? Should it be something we're looking into? Seems like there's a little bit of a delay. Can the rest of you guys hear me still?
Clear.
Financial fair play, my brother.
Network ya
network ya Colombia.
If they say financial fair play will work, I don't know, man. In Mzanzi, it won't work. Let me tell you something. 3 teams are gonna benefit. Chiefs, Sundowns, and Pirates. Even Sundowns might struggle because let's be honest, Sundowns doesn't bring in so much revenue. Let's be honest. Being honest, like you can check from ticket sales, you can check from other merchandises. They don't bring in as much money as they are spending to buy players. You understand? Chiefs is the only team. Chiefs and Chiefs. Pirates, Pirates it's spending, it's getting revenue, ne? But Chiefs is the only team that can survive this thing of financial fair play more. Like they can literally buy every player that they want to play, that they want. But a bigger manager, they've made Amazimba chips, you see, and then those things are gonna sell out, my brother. You see, it's revenue from sponsors. You see now, Kappa, they've got majority of the shares in that sponsorship. One Kalwa. So Chiefs now for I believe if they want, they can compete with Sundowns, and then this thing of financial play will not bargain. Will not harm them in any way. But unfortunately, our club is stingy. For one, Sundowns, siyazi ukuthi ubaba Mfuthu is not stingy when it comes to money. Bona, he puts in the money there. Like this thing of financial fair play, it may benefit. Let me just put it like this: it may benefit only three teams. Let me say Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns. Other teams are gonna struggle. Baroga can't even fill a stadium, my brother. When they say Polokwane City and Baroga are playing, it's a Polokwane derby. But now you won't even get 10,000 people. You can't even get 5,000 people. You see, and then don't forget that the revenue of the club is generated by ticket sales, sponsorships. Like those teams are gonna struggle. We have Cape Town Spurs. Who's gonna want to sponsor the Cape Town Spurs? They are losing like nobody's business. You've got you've got people like Uchi who teams like Uchipa United. That guy fires coaches like he's changing underwears, my brother. So how will a sponsor be confident? Like how will they go there and say that no, we are confident about Uchipa. We want to sponsor Uchipa. One understand, my brother. So many teams are not gonna survive if they say we are implementing this thing of financial fair play. I'm crying for teams like Baroka. I'm crying for teams like Polokwane City, so on and so on. Like before we talk about this thing of financial fair play, we should check how many people watch our game not at home, at the stadiums, because that's where these teams get revenue. When we're sitting at home watching from DSTV, my brother, those teams don't get anything. They only get revenue when we go to the stadiums and then we pay. So that's why people must stop. I think for us to stay in financial fair play, man, unfortunately we don't. You see, even like go England, I like to make a perfect example. England, you know it. You see, like my brother, like go England, like you get a team that's performing bad, like Burnley. But when they play, my brother, stadium is full. You get teams like Luton. When they play, stadium is full. So for financial play to be implemented to succeed, those teams they must start getting sponsors. Number one and number two, fans must start to go to the stadiums. That's the perfect way, my brother. They can survive this thing of financial play in South Africa. Other than that, my brother, most teams are gonna crumble.
Okay. Malume Kutsa, I want to come back to you. Our owners don't spend, our owners are not doing anything. I want to move it away a little bit from financial fair play. How can we stimulate our owners, the ones that have money, the ones that can do stuff, to actually go out and spend money? Like we speak about Sundowns, Ntate Motsepe has put a lot of money into that team to go forward, where you find teams like Abo Stellenbosch, Abo Supersport, where maybe they could be spending money, they don't.
No, they're already being stimulated. Motsepe is stimulating them. He's showing them, I'm going to take everything. Kubegani.
But they don't seem to care.
Kubegani spend. No, there is a bit of a reaction when you hear rumor has it or Keegan Dolly is earning 1.6 or something like that. I think it's on the backdrop of what's going on at Sundowns. No more. Harsa Patali more, we are going to sink. So we do need a couple of Mutsepes, real ones. We do have Umam Kaizer. Obviously, I don't know the pockets. I'm speaking from assuming what I've seen on TV. Mam Kaizer came in, she shook things up. She shook up a lot of people and she became public enemy number one amongst these big teams. So it shows with the current climate in football. I mean, ask anyone who's the biggest team right now. I'm sure in the room someone will say Man City. It's all based on money, guys. So at this point, we really need a boys' club or whatever the hockey club, as Upuhat would say, to come.
Allegedly. Yeah, don't put me under that. Allegedly.
We need such people to come through and get into football. Yes, it will come and leave a bad taste in the mouth for some time, I understand. But to be honest, the league would grow if we had people with money, because people with money would also be able to sort of get the right personnel to lead our marketing, my team. I recently asked you about culture number one fan. That thing sort of also attracts people to come to stadiums, because there's a reward in place to say, I could one day be recognized as a number one supporter. It also gives an extra benefit to say, Mingse Stadium, I can get a picture with Mama Joy, which I do have. I can get a picture with Mama Joy. I can get
before
a picture
she transferred.
before she took a transfer. Oh, I understand. I can get a picture with Usatamake, Umguyo, Umzayoni, you know. The fact that we're moving away from that is sort of killing us. We're already dying, but it's speeding up the death. You understand? From PROs, we need to get a right personnel. And it's through money. And when we talk about financial fair play, I actually think some of these teams would survive financial fair play. If you look at it, they do look like they're operating on the league grant, and they do look like they're operating. I think these stadiums pay these teams or something. These municipalities pay these teams to use their facilities so that they don't become a white horse. When you look at it, some teams like Golden Arrows, they're not spending top dollar. They look like if financial fair play was to be introduced, they would actually compete with Sundowns, because Sundowns is definitely going up over budget. It would bring Sundowns back to 11 like Golden Arrows, which is something we don't want as a league. I don't care who says what in this on this topic, but I know no one wants to see Sundowns on 11 Golden Arrows.
But then how do we make these owners want to spend money? I mean, you look at it, Golden Arrows has been in the league since 98. You look at our SuperSport, they've been in the league ever since it started. You look at our Rupert, to own our Stellenbosch. Look at our Mamkize, who again, we don't know their pockets, but they're spending money. Our Bab Zungu are bringing coaches from that side. Mara, when it comes to spending and buying players, they don't seem interested.
Look,
or even worried about Sundowns. How do we get them involved?
No, it got chiga. Why? At this rate, it might take time, but I believe in it. At this rate, Sundowns is gonna win 6-0. Three games in a row. And people will wake up to say, I am not gonna get 6. There is no way I'm getting 6. And it will force teams to either come up with creative ways of getting players or ship out. When you listen to Natasha, sorry, I'm losing a bit, but when you listen to Natasha Chiklas, in terms of how she moved out of his Sundowns, it gives me that thing in which people will juice these guys up. What he did, he started spending, according to Natasha, spending so much on his Sundowns that Lena, as a partner, she had to contribute as much, and she was like, no, I can't. You are draining me right now. Actually, let me just sell whatever I have to you. You can continue spending in that way. So he does have a way of pressuring his peers around him or his partners. And by spending, you remember what I'm throwing layer 6-0 is not something from the sky. Pirates was beaten 6 by Sundowns. And the next season, we signed a galaxy of stars and we could compete. So it's going to happen where even Chiefs will get 6. And the management will realize, which, you know what, this thing of giving, I won't say it's killing us. And much respect to Amakrut Manda. But this thing of not giving the tried and tested Ispan is killing us. And then they will wake up and start paying people. That's how I think it will pan out. Sundowns is very good for this league.
I don't know. Sundowns is about to win 7th year in a row and it doesn't look like it's shaking people, but it's fine. It's fine, Baba. We're not doing chips. But anyway, let me go to Chero. Chero, how do we, outside of financial fair play, we'll move that aside. How do we make sure that the owners that are in the league currently, how can we make them want to spend more money or force them to spend money? Because there's a couple of teams in this league that could spend at Sundowns' level, but they're not doing it. Even besides Sundowns winning everything, how do we get the owners to buy into this league all the way?
Okay, I mean, while you guys are talking, I'm thinking, trying to figure this thing out because we are all asking ourselves this question. But there's two things that come into my mind. One is this limit that they have for foreign players.
Okay.
So this 5 foreign players per team, even though they have a way of bypassing it, but I think that's the first thing. Because it's not like there are players in South Africa that are amazing, for example. If maybe there were 4 or 5 hot players playing in each club, then you can say, hey, we need, Chiefs could be saying, hey, we need those 2 guys from AmaZulu or 2 guys from Cape Town City. There's not a lot of good players. So now the only way to spend money is to go outside. Whether you're going to Morocco, Tunisia, or South America, now they are going to South America.
Okay.
So we don't have that much quality where you can break a bank. You can't break a bank let me make an example for Lepa. Okay, let's say it's doing well. But there's no player that you can break a bank for. There's one or two. But
Sundowns does it a lot. Every
yeah,
year
it's
within the
Motsipe.
PSL.
Yeah, it's Motsipe. Motsipe. It's Motsipe. So, but there's no, the 1 or 2 players are there, but we don't have 10 players that you can break a bank for in South Africa,
Okay.
to be honest.
Okay.
We don't have. If you look outside of Sundowns, maybe 1 or 2 at Orlando Pirates, and then where are the,
But would
where are
would the
they?
other teams be willing, even if you open it up, would the other teams be willing? Because if they're not spending now on quote unquote local players, if they're not spending money now and they're complaining about money neck rand, would they go to Colombia and go sign somebody for 51 million? Let's say
Yes, but
a Royal AM.
now you can see, Uguti, they are willing to do that because Chiefs has gone to South America recently. Sundowns has been going there. Royal AM is a different story. That is not a team. That is just a fashion show. It's not a team then. I don't think they are
But those are the
structured.
teams I want to focus on because
But
Abo
you
Zungu
can't.
are worth hundreds of millions allegedly. Abo Mamkis are worth hundreds of millions allegedly. Rupert is worth 4 times what Mutsipe is worth. Supersport is quote unquote backed by a multinational company. Why then are those guys not spending? They're not spending. They can spend right now. There's no rules. They can do whatever they want to do. Why are those teams not doing it? And how can we get those teams to spend those monies?
Okay. I'm gonna answer you from my point of view. You see,
Okay.
most of those people you've mentioned, I don't think they are football lovers. They don't love football. Mamkize was in this thing just for fame.
Okay.
For me, in my point of view, he was doing it for his son and fame. But I know Rally M is for my respect. I'm a respect person. It's not a team. It's just a fashion show. It's something to show off and post. I won't call that a team. Then our Ruperts are business people. Maybe they're doing this for tax. Our cheaper pengency is just to post now, same as Mam Kiza. There's nothing there. You can't call cheaper on that on the team. So until we get football people who are willing to go overseas, maybe a scout. Do you think Chipper United's got scouts? I don't think they've got scouts. You understand? So as soon as we get football people,
Pascal, to
and
social
then they
media, don't
start.
you remember the post?
Now you see what I'm talking about. Those are not soccer. These are not football people. They're trying to find shortcuts, social media. It's embarrassing for a professional league. So until we get football people in football, then we'll see improvement. The second thing,
Yeah.
I forgot. I said the first thing was this. Did I mention the second thing? I forgot.
I'll come back. Lyrical Pope.
Okay, but there's one more thing before you cut me off. A topic I want us to speak about maybe in the near future. Uguti, why are we not supporting our local teams? For example, if you're from Soweto, why are you supporting Super Sports? If you're from Pretoria, why are you supporting Pirates? I think maybe that's one of the things that Uguti, our stadium needs to be full, because you're supporting teams from Cape Town while you're from KZN, and it's only happening in our country. I've never seen this. I've been watching football for so many years.
Do you know what I'll do? Let's speak about it tonight. So let me finish with everybody. The rest of the two, then we'll go directly into that topic.
Yeah, okay, sure, bro.
Lyrical Pope, how do we make these owners want to spend money? Because there's plenty of owners with lots of money, but we're not seeing it spent. We're watching Mutsipa spending money. There's no rules. It's the Wild Wild West in the PSL, but we don't see the money being spent.
Sure, Prazo. I also want to be added on that topic, Leila. But what I can say, host, we need government intervention. Yeah, we need support. SAFA, we need support from the states to encourage the private business to invest. Because we have people, Jay, who just own teams, as the previous speaker was trying to articulate. They just own teams, you know. People are just on teams. They're in positions. Doesn't matter if the team is moving forward, it's moving backwards. If the team gets relegated like Amazulu, they have money, so they buy out the next team. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen in the Premier League. You know, like you can't perform badly and then just say I have money and then I'm just gonna buy out the teams that were performing better than me to go back into the PSL. So I feel like the government must intervene to prevent such things, and they must demand certain things from these teams that have money. These teams have money, host. We know this. The owners, the Amazulu guys, you name them. These guys have money. But if SAFA does not intervene, because it's a South African thing, the owners don't care. They are businessmen. They don't care. I own this club. I'm earning money for generations. My children are eating forever. It's us as the South African citizens and supporters who actually are saying the standard of football is dropping. So the government must intervene. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Uti, there must be, because I'll give you an example. There was a time in Premier League football where the England team was terrible. They were terrible. They had the best. It was very similar to South Africa. They had the best league, but they didn't have the best team. So they went there, they sat down, and they were like, no, we have to go back to our grassroots. We have to look at our infrastructure, our development. We have to say that a team must play this percentage of locally based players in their squad for them to compete. Those are steps that the English took. And the English are not better than us in terms of football. They're not. But in terms of strategy, in terms of seeing what's going wrong, which I see Lumis and the host. And I think that's what we should do. And we have a blueprint we can draw from. And I spoke to you about this. And it's rugby. We can look at the rugby system. The rugby system, there's Craven Week. In Craven Week, it's every year. If you go to Craven Week, it's high schools. You can see the next boy who's going to be playing in 3 years' time for the Springboks. You can
Okay.
go and say, you see that boy there, he's going to be there. Where can we go for football and say the same? That's what I think.
Okay.
Danko.
Uh, let's say Alejandro, tell me, why? How do we force these owners to spend, man?
Alejandro.
How do we force these owners to spend, or how do we make them make it a situation where they're spending because they've got money, there's no rules, but they're not spending.
My brother, at the end of the day, is about the love of the game. If you don't have the love of the game, it will never succeed. The reason why, let's say, for example, we have Royal AM, we also have Stellenbosch. Kize and Urupi, they've got money for days. So this is what happens, my brother. They don't have the same passion and love Umutipe has. Bega Manju, Umutipe has a national league. He has a league, Mutsipa Foundation. That's a national league for me. And then number two, you have Urupit. No football ambitions, nothing, dog. Business transaction. Go to talent board. They are just business transaction. Bego Mutsipe, he's the president of IKF. It shows how serious he is. He is so serious to a point that he even went to contest for the presidency position at CAF. So it shows you more. This person loves football. But Abu Bobstik, they don't. I don't think they have football passion. I think they are just like that. They are born in a family where the father was the football lover. I think if you can ask Bob Stigur, what did you want to play? Maybe he wanted to be a DJ or something because he doesn't have the football. The football heart. You can see, he's arrogant. Sometimes he doesn't even listen to the supporters. One understand? You remember the things that he said on the radio. That's not how you manage a team. So they've got money, they've got the facilities, but it's about the love of the game. If you don't have the love of the game, my brother, it will never succeed. Because even if you can get millionaires to fund all these teams, if they don't have the love of the game, it will never succeed. For example, in Newcastle, you can see where their owners, they love football, but they don't love football the same as the owners of in Manchester City. The owners of Manchester City have loved football. They were, I think, if last time that I did research is they wanted to buy Liverpool at first, and then FSG refused, and then they went on to buy in Manchester City. Understand? If you can go around and check all the Arab people who buy this football club, they have football heritage, like they like football. That's why most people, I was one of the guys who said, well, this thing of Saudi will fail. But now, because I can see where those people over there, they love football, or they've got football genetics, this thing might actually succeed. So it doesn't matter if we get millionaires or billionaires in this league of ours, as long as they don't have the football DNA in their blood, as long as they don't have the football heart, they won't, my brother. It won't do anything. Like Rupert has money, my brother, for days. He can give us 100,000 each of us in the entire South Africa and be left with shame. He has money. I agree with one speaker here. Bona, that thing is a circus. That thing is a show off. Royal AM is a show off. You remember that time where they were paying players on the field? Even players were embarrassed. They were paying players in the field. That team, it was bought to make sure Andile plays football. That's why the name is Royal Andile Mpisani. So Umamkize Nyamiyagela. Leave Umamkize, go remote. So, but at the end of the day, my conclusion is it's about football mentality. If you don't have the love of the game, my brother, you will never. Nothing is gonna work out.
I like that comment. I like that comment about the love, because when you watch this documentary they've been playing, Pulse of the Nation, when you watch, man, the way Abo Kaizer and Abo Kaizer and people who've been involved speak about it, they have this love for it. I'm just like, I think sometimes we are trying to find ways and routes and shortcuts for these owners, but I don't think these owners care about these things as much as we do. I don't think these owners care about Sundowns winning the league 7 years in a row. I don't think they care, right? Manjatina, I go live every day. Chiefs loses, I go live, I get I have to deal with that. We go to work, we go to wherever, we have to deal with those things. I don't think they care, to be honest with you. They don't have that connection with the clubs that we do. Let's go into the next topic. I'm gonna jump in with the first panel, but then I see there's 4 requests. I'm gonna let you guys in on the second half here. Malame Kuto, let's talk about supporting our local teams. Why is it that in South Africa we don't support teams that are close to us, and we tend to just look at the big teams, or we tend to look at teams that are far away from us?
Before I continue, Hendrik just brought a scene in my head, and it's still vivid. There's a Congolese player who played for Celtics, Free State Stars, as well as Royal AM. That Nanale part, because on the day, the one that they kept on saying, Chilombo, he had to come and take his wages. That guy was hiding. That he was not entertaining Umam Kize. But he kept on saying, Chilombo. But it's fine. I think in SA we have a straight culture. It's either a Pirate supporter or a Chief supporter. You understand? And another thing that kills us, nah? Not kills us, but that moya when we support specific teams. It's the size of the stadiums. You know, when you look at the tournaments of Alexandra, you want to go because it's packed. But I tell you, if you were to take those people back, let's think of those venues, Sako Alexandra, and throw them into FNP, you would notice which they don't even make up one portion there where you are sitting and it's a row of stairs, a staircase this side and a staircase that side. They wouldn't fill that part up. You understand? So what happens is that in Chorusamwayakor, we see these stadiums that they are empty, but when it looks packed, we want to attend. Okay. So the size of the stadium sometimes, they sort of connecting, they sort of deal with somewhere. I'm gonna be alone. So that's the first part, because I've noticed with these small teams go past, we support, and we think which it's following. But when you look at them, it's only like 1,000 people. And you would need times 90. 90,000 to fill up the FNP. Not times 10, but times 90. So what I'm looking at is, firstly, the way the stadium you look at thing, the infrastructure, the way it's shaped. We don't have that infrastructure that is intimate, that encourages a support where when it's 800 people, there's a vibe. Well, like your varsity stadiums, your entire stadiums, we don't have that vibe. So I feel which maybe certain teams should play at certain stadiums while they are on the come up. Understand? For example, in Sundowns, I kid you not, I always say it's 57 supporters, né? But I know it's more than that. If they a stadium with a structure that would like create an environment where you would see with Babangata, for example, the TP Mazembe Stadium, when you go there, it looks packed with that all white vibe. And then I think I was something like 15,000 seater. It's not even half what Orlando holds. So if we had that for East Sundowns, and I think Sundowns does maybe pull in Boma 5,000 to 10,000 support. Well, not 10,000, 5,000 to 7,000 supporters. If we had a structure that would at least look like, it's half full, we would be going somewhere for teams that are on the come up. And I believe Sundowns is one of those in terms of establishing themselves as a big team.
Okay.
That's just how I see it, obviously. The biggest problem in the stadiums are on.
Okay. Let me bring in Chero. Why don't we support our local teams? You brought up this topic. Tell me why we don't support our local teams from your point of view.
I don't know. That's why I asked the question. because
Ah, eh.
because it doesn't make sense if you look at it. Mostly, our teams are structured in cities. If you
Okay.
look, there are teams from Cape Town, there are teams from Polokwane, and in specific regions. There's sometimes is Pretoria, mainly Atteridgeville or Mamelodi, let me say. So if people from around at least Atteridgeville, Mamelodi, and the other locations they supported the Santan, then Guti, there's no one from Chiefs or Pirates. First, it creates a rivalry. Yeah, it creates a atmosphere. Guti, when you come here, it's gonna be fine. But now you look at Isoweto Derby. Orlando Pirates fans sitting to a Kaizer Chiefs fan, they are laughing, they are crying together. It doesn't create that environment. Ukuthi, okay, which the stadium is gonna be sold out, but 20% of the stadium, Lapaya top corner is the away team. So Bafaka Lapaya, but the rest, 80% is for us. So now there's no rivalry because we watch here, we learn from Europeans with how they do it. But with us, you find the Chiefs can come in and fill up a stadium in Durban, playing against Arrows, and go all the way to Polokwane and fill up a stadium against Black Leopards. Because now we don't support our own teams. That's one of the things that is killing our football because we don't support local. I remember there's a team from Spain. You're gonna remind me if you know the story. There's a team from Spain. I don't know if it's Bilbao, it's not Sevilla or Valencia. They only play the only players who are allowed to play there are local born
Oh
players.
yes, the Basque guys. Yeah, and yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you see, even they even took it further to saying this team belongs to these people. You understand? I'm not saying we must do that here, but the sense of belonging, they took it too far for my liking. But they're saying this is our team. It's either we get relegated with our players or we prosper with our players. So same thing with supporting. We must support our teams. If you're from Polokwane, we have Polokwane City for you. If you're from Toando, we have Black
Black
Leopards for you.
leopards.
Even though they're in the third division, that's your team. You go with it to third division. You understand? So I think, Mina, that's one of the things we need to look into and fix in our football. I don't know if it's too late. I don't think you're gonna tell people now to stop supporting Kaizer Chiefs and
Yeah.
support Black Leopards. Look at
Can I?
Swallows now. Swallows,
Yeah.
Swallows is back. They have no supporters. The old pensioners. The old,
Uh,
yeah, the
I
old
think
pensioners.
I think if I can just jump in before I let Lyrical Pope in, I
Sure, sure.
think I think people underestimate how much work you have to do in order to get support. I think that's the problem. If you watch this Pulse of the Nation documentary, Kaizer Chiefs, when Kaizer Chiefs was starting, Bati the Lipnene, who was the marketing guy at that time, took Chiefs on a roadshow around the country, playing local teams from everywhere. Now, obviously, you can't necessarily do that nowadays. It's logistically and all of that stuff. They'll complain, but it's work that you need to do. The question that I always ask is, when you look at these places, I see 100% men is speaking about the golden arrows. When you look at these places, you're telling me Chipa is from PE, but can you show me where in PE Chipa is visible? Like if I was a marketing manager of one of these teams, I would take part of the budget and say, we're going to buy 200. We're going to take 200 jerseys and we're going to give them to businesses in the area. So that when you walk around, there's not a day, we'll make a Chipa United Wednesday, where Cospa, The cashiers are all wearing Chippa United jerseys. The barbers, the what. When you walk into this area, my town, you will know that this is a Chippa United area. This is Richards Bay United area. You will see it. You have to do these things. A lot of these guys are tied to an identity. Now, some things you can't change. So you can't change where stadiums are placed and stuff like that. We've spoken about that before. But at the very least, in the area where your team is meant to be from, it must be undeniable that that is the team from there. Undeniable. When you go to a high school soccer game, you're going to see my team there. When you go to checkouts, you're going to see my team there. When you go to this place, trust and believe, because that's what, if you look at the other teams around the world that are really well supported in their areas, when you walk into Brentford, it's undeniable that this is Brentford or that area in Brentford. When you walk in past the Emirates and in that area right close to the Emirates, it's undeniable. They made sure. I remember saying that Arsenal, for example, did a thing where they did adverts for local businesses. Literally local businesses there, they shot adverts with Emil Smith Rowe, Odekaros, Banban, to make sure that they're coming closer. Our teams are not close. You see me, I'm from Etem, Springs, Etem. I've watched Chiefs with my eyes, my own eyes at Tema Stadium. With my own eyes. They came and played Ajax when I was little. I always speak about it here. With my own eyes. So they did the work. They did the work. There was no reason why Kaizer Chiefs and Ajax should be playing at Tema. But they understood, good to know, we need to do the work. There's a reason why whenever Chiefs goes anywhere, there's an activation. Every time they land in a new town, there's an activation. It's work. It's not just going to happen just because you put your name on it. Now 100% Man is telling us here, last time he saw Lamontville Golden Arrows was 2017. So now why must I support you when I probably know that Chiefs has passed through there or close to there? Jessica doesn't rest. So it's those things, man. They're so far away from us as fans, so far away. And they're not doing enough to come closer to us and make us feel part of it. That's what I think is happening. When you walk at Richards Bay, which part of Richards Bay is Richards Bay? How do I know? Which part of which other team? Which part of AM Bombela is the ATS Galaxy? How do I know? How will I know? Good, I'm crossing a line and going into, this is now Golden Arrows territory. So if you don't do that, how am I supposed to show pride? You're asking me to do a favor. That's the problem. You're asking me to do a favor. You know, I'm from Tata and there's no PSL here. Then does that mean it won't support football? No, I understand. Game on the, I understand. But I'm saying that the amount of work that these teams do, even when they're not in the PSL, the amount of work that they do. Think about Bloem Celtic, when Bloem Celtic was Bloem Celtic. The amount of work they did, Komangawung, to make that Bloem Celtic town, or to make those areas Bloem Celtic, the amount of work. So there's no reason why Kaizer Stars shouldn't be doing it. Tema, okay, let me think of one of the Tema teams. I don't even know them. I know the junior ones, but there should be, Tsakane Stadium is this team, and around that area, it's that team. Our Brentford, our Banban, they're supported from even before they're in the EPL, even before they're in the top town. Our Luton, our Wrexham. Wrexham is five leagues down. They're supported because why? They're doing the work to be part of the community. So you can't blame people for being Chiefs fans if Chiefs is the only team that's going everywhere. Only team that's going everywhere. Guys, you can't touch, very few teams can touch what Jessica's doing. I can point to Cape Town City that's trying very hard to do something. They had Ama Fans Day. They're doing all those things. They're trying very hard to make sure that around there, you know, Guti, this is Cape Town City's area. Municipalities, what. I saw the mayor is wearing, was wearing a Cape Town Spurs, Cape Town City jersey. Those things are coordinated, but we don't coordinate. Lyrical Pope. Hey, I don't want to go on too long. Lyrical Pope. Why aren't our local teams? Why aren't local teams supported by people that are local to them?
Brazo, you've just laid the platform. You took the words out of my mouth, my man. Like, serious, my man. You know, but I'm gonna speak on. I'm not just gonna ride your cocktail. But you are right, man. There's a reason why Chiefs is the most beloved team across the country, even though they come from Watan. But in Durban, they have a strong following. I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm from Durban, man. My father from Durban. But I was born into the Chiefs fraternity. Because, as you say, they travel. They go places. And if you compare to the English Premier League, that's why I like to compare. We have a comparison. The rugby, my man. The rugby is split into provinces. There's provinces, there's a stadium for each team in the province. And every boer or every supporter supports from their perspective of the province. That's what the English do. English, it's more diverse because it's cities, because they don't have that amount of space. So even a small, I remember I saw one of your clips there about, is it Luton? Where the stadium, you can literally see the back rooms there, like the stadium. You know what I'm saying? Which the stadium is built into the foundations of the city. That is the thing. That's what they get right, host. I would see, like you spot on. That's what they get right. Here, I think the problem is our history, because in our history, when football was top is when we were second-class citizens. So we as black people, Ebola was our refuge. It was our pastime. It was our second job. So we were playing football out of passion. You go from a 9 to 5, you go chom, leaving weddings and going and scoring two there to win. You know what I'm saying? It was passion, purely passion. It wasn't because we are paid to strut around. And when we started to get paid, you saw the difference now. When you compare us to the rugby has always been about passion. Whether they are paid or they're not paid, they bleed. These guys bleed for the jersey. Who bleeds for our football jersey? No one bleeds here, man. A person breaks a nail. I coach, I'm keeping. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. That's the problem, I mean. If we take the stadiums and we build this, because we have stadiums in every class. We have that stadium there where we all play. If we go there to those stadiums, we refurbish them. We build stadiums there. Because I remember during the World Cup, I'm from Clermont. I'm from Clermont. During the World Cup, they actually trained in the stadium where I'm from, Ekaslam. Even though they didn't play, they trained there. So they refurbished the stadium. They actually built a stadium, I mean. And then we saw these guys training there. And for the youngsters, it was so inspiring. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that was just a once-off, man, for the world. It wasn't because we're a footballing nation that prides ourselves on football. You know what I'm saying? So that is where we are going wrong, host. Right. You're right. Even if you don't have money, you can go build a stadium. We saw in
Besides
England.
Zama Stadium, it costs nothing for the players to show up in J every weekend. Under 13, they're there. It might cost you a little something, but make sure that Clermont, if I have a team at Clermont, I go to the people, management of the little shopping centers, and I say, guys, now how much is there? I 200. Can you split it around everybody? Then make it good to on Wednesdays. People wear these jerseys. Like there's so many little things that you can do. In Pretoria, if you go to any rugby game, you might bump into a Springbok. You don't know. You might bump into a Bulls player. You might they make sure that they are inside.
It's like, oh hey, and you are the one who's freaking out. And it's like, no, we come here and we have a beer. How are you? You know what I'm saying? That's how integrated it is. See, we see these guys, hey, I'm a superstar. And it's like, they deliver nothing. Nothing. Our superstars in the 70s, Bebe Sharma 9 to 5. Hlangana nomshito Shoprite. I'm just making an example. Hlangana
Teenage
nomshito
Zaza
Shoprite.
lives in my hood. Teenage Zaza lived in my hood. Best push him out to the one day, no Teenage Zaza.
Yangithola.
They were inside, like they were like this.
Yangithola. So uteenage lapho uthi hayi ukukho imoto uzohamba iphushela. Uzombona Saturday yenza amasiko. Uzombona, excuse the language. Uzombona Saturday la. Ekhupisa amadolo. And it's going to be like, hey, that's a superstar. Because it was just passion, host. It was just passion. We don't have passion here. Passion is gone, my man. And for us to get passion, host, right, we need to go and build stadiums. And I go back to my original point. The government must intervene. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
They intervened for the World Cup. So
I get it. The World
Sinama
Cup.
Stadium.
Now I told you
Stadium
guys
now.
that the World Cup wasn't for us. Wasn't for the normal footballing watcher. The stadiums were filled by certain people who don't watch PSL. But hey, let's not go
No,
into
but I
that
understand, host. But like, it's like we don't even have to start from scratch. That's my point. We don't have to start from scratch. There is an infrastructure where Intwana can see. That's where I'm going. That's the Coliseum. You know, we can go and then we build the miniature ones and be like, okay, Intwana, if we're blind, then we are going to Mabida. If we're blind, you are going to what's this thing? The one in Johannesburg, my bad. Yeah. If we're blind, you go to the casinos and then, like the Colosseums in Rome. There was the Colosseum and there used to be smaller arenas where you go and you cut it and then it's okay, I will blind it. Why don't we have that?
Let me jump in for time's sake. Let me jump in and bring in Alejandro. Alejandro, why do these teams? Why do we not care about local teams or teams that are close to us?
Now where I grew up, my brother, there is no team, my brother. Nage Bloma Villa Villa, stay in Villa Villa. So there's only one team. It's called Villa Villa Pirates. And then I won't support it because, well, you know why. I won't support it. That Villa Villa Pirates. So I will never support that team. So one thing that I can say, now where I grew up, like when I speak from being honest, is because we have teams, but those teams, it's like they don't have the ambition to go to top leagues, because what's happening is these teams, they develop players and then other big teams, they take those players and then Abu Jomo buys and then they took those teams away, those players away from them, and then Manjabu Chiefs, Sundowns, they buy those players from Abu Jomo, what. There's this one guy, he plays in PSL, he's from Bila, I forgot his name. I forgot his name. I will check for you, and then I will tell you next time when we are when I'm in the panel. So there's this guy who's from my location. I understand. So he's playing in the PSL. I forgot what team he plays in the PSL. I saw they were celebrating him. I saw his pictures. They were celebrating him. So what's happening is the reason why I don't support any team, my brother, is because there's no team that I can support in my location. It's Bela Bela, there's no team. So I grew up supporting Kaizer Chiefs from a young age. That's it. And then one thing that I would like to say as my closing statement, I can see that you are closing up. I want to wrap it up for you. One thing that I can say, Corey, South African standard of football, my brother, is dropping. Mind you, Gavin Nant is costing me 5K. He's drawing now. He's supposed to win. We are going man. So like I have football standards. I'm losing 5K now because of who Gavin Nant. The other Champions League teams won. But it's fine, man. It's fine. So like, yeah, my brother, like I think our standard is low. And then this location teams, let's not blame them and say they are not reaching out. With what money, bruh? But with what money? Like with what money? Like most of these teams don't have money to reach out. They don't even have money to buy some pets and say, let's take these solitary pets and give them the ladies, the kids in school. They don't even mind and say, let us contribute our old boots and then buy new ones. They don't have money, so we must not
just to show
put pressure
up to the
on
games.
them.
Let's not say money. Show up in the community. Show up in the community.
Yes, show up. Yeah, you see, but check here what's going on. Check here what's going on. I can see from the Bila Pirates that Bila Pirates is one of the best team in my location. So like that team, my brother, doesn't get the support, or when it doesn't get the support, right? I cannot support the Pulugwani City. It's far, man. It's far. So that
Mara, they
team
must
gets
go and make the
gets
support, guys. Bila Pirates players must go when under 15 Sunday leagues are playing. Go watch soccer with the kids. Go to, like, there's things you could do that don't cost money. It can't just be that support must start just because. You guys have to create the support again.
No, but I can remember now we were talking about teams reaching out to the community. And those teams are doing the best that they can. So it's up to the community first, my brother, to show those teams we are here with you. And then I'm disappointed about the parents. Baba na baba na badlalang bolo. Like you know your kid plays soccer, but you don't say let's go and support your brother. You don't say things like that. These guys will be sweating for 90 minutes. No parents of theirs has arrived. It's us there. And then when we support them, we are relaxing there on the grass. We are drinking alcohol. We're shouting at them like supporters do. But they have no parents there. They have no support. Understand? So how are they going to reciprocate the energy and help the community? Understand? They play for 10,000, my brother. But get tournament, the winner gets 10,000. The first one gets 10, second one gets 5,000, and the fourth one, I don't know, gets a lousy trophy. They are trying. We supporters must pitch in. One understand, but unfortunately we don't. We want teams to reach out to the community. We must put in the work. Well, we must put in the work. Even like Pirates, I don't support it because it's Pirates, but I'm gonna tell you one thing, my brother. I can support it. I can support it. If they say I have to contribute, I can put in at least 30 rand. That's something. It's Pirates. But at least it's something. But one thing that I can say, we must not always say, these teams must do this. Some teams they don't have money, bruh. They don't have the Kaizer Chiefs money
to show up, Marilyn. You don't need money. It's not
but
just money thing.
Sunderland is dominating now because of money. Man City is dominating now because of money.
Football
is changing now because of money.
I made you an example that if I go to any rugby game in Pretoria, anyone, I am liable to bump into a Bulls player. Like I'm liable. It doesn't cost money. They haven't been placed. They don't have to come with kids. But imagine Bila Pirates is playing, and I don't know, you get there, and one of the guys from there is watching a high school game. One of the chairperson is arriving. Sometimes you just need that. But then, but it's fine.
Yeah, but I understand. I get your point. Let me answer all Ludwig before
quickly.
Yeah. Mr. Ludwig, Bila Pirates, they had the chance to play for Motsipe playoffs. They were eliminated, so they couldn't qualify for the Motsipe League. So they do have potential if they don't sell their players. It looks like the owners, they are quick to sell players even though they haven't qualified. So they have the potentials and the talent. They were like I said, they were one in the playoff for the Motsipe League. So they can, but I'm not gonna support them. I'm gonna support them now. They must change the name Pirates. They must say Villa FC.
Thank you, Hendrix, for time, my brother, for time. Let me let in the next panel. But what I will say, Malome Kutsu, I'm with you. Linna ke wata Bila Pirates. Ke wata jersey ya Bila Pirates. They must get us this jersey. Ke wata yona out of everybody. Theo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
OT, my guy, can I get in because I have 10 minutes with you, please?
Okay. Quickly. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Are you getting a Bila Pirates jersey, Lewen?
I know, man. I don't want inyama. I don't want bad luck. Black pirates, dead people, bad luck, man. No. No, man. I waited and waited for you, man.
Sorry.
Late night meeting at 9:30. That's telling me it's 2:30 it's 2:30 in the afternoon where he is.
No, hit me. What do you think? Why aren't these local teams supported?
Yeah, and before I go there, I wanted to jump on the financial play thingy. There is always a way around fair play. I had people saying about Sundowns because I think the reason why it's being shouted a lot is precise. It's not for the good of the league. Is for Sundowns, like a targeted thing, you know. Look at the Man City last year made more revenue than Man United. You know, and we know Man City doesn't have that many supporters. They don't sell enough money through shells and stuff. The reason why they can do money through is that they get sponsors with inflated offers. You know, your Abu Dhabi's or whatever. They come up with an offer which is not worth Man City. You know, but because the owner is whatever, then they can go around it. You know. So you look at
very
Sundowns.
quick. You must stick on the topic though.
No, one minute. You look at Sundowns. Motsepe owns a lot of companies, so he's gonna just pump money through them and sponsor Sundowns. So I think for us it will do more harm than good, because I don't think the intended target, it will miss the intended target, and you know it will shoot on others. But back to your topic, you made a good point. You know that teams are not doing enough, and I think we've talked about this. They're not doing enough to consolidate your support around that base. You know, if you are supported around your base, who else is going to support you? Especially if you're not a global powerhouse like Chiefs, Paris, Sundowns. You know, so there must, if a team is Cape Town Spurs, there must be in Cape Town a certain part of Cape Town. I think the other part should be for Cape Town City. That one should be for Cape Town Spurs. Wherever they are based, they should know that every week we are expecting at least 2,000 from our area, 2,000 minimum. You know, so how do you do that? How do you do that? Is you encourage your community to be involved, and how can you encourage that? It's not just about giving them free T-shirts and freebies. You know, be involved in the community work. You know, take kids, you know, who are playing in the street, to come and play for your team or your academy. You know, that's when the mothers and the fathers will come. You know, like I feel like for now, because Sundowns, Pirates, Chiefs have monopolized almost the entire population, it don't have to have a second team. You know, it don't have for me to say, but you know, I'm a Sundowns fan, but you know, if Pretoria Callis was to be up, I mean, I would watch it. You know, it's like kind of my second team. You know, the same way I support Sundowns, yet I support a team in Botswana, I support a team in Zim, whatever. You know, so we can have that. That okay, fine. I want to support Pretoria Callis as my second home. You know, I'm not supporting it with heart, but you know, I enjoy the closeness because maybe my son is playing there. You know, so I think that's what they need to do: consolidate the fan base through community involvement. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah.
Head on off to your meeting. Let me bring in Theo. Theo, how are you doing, my brother?
Yo, I'm okay, Mr. Uti. How are you, sir?
I'm okay. I wanted us to shift from heavy topics. Tell me, why don't we support our local teams? Why don't we support our local teams, and what can they do to get our support?
Oh, it's a very interesting topic, but also a tricky. It's a tricky one. Yeah, but also, can I start on the financial fair play? Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Guys, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. In the financial fair play, guys, as exactly as Mr. H just said now, we need to be honest, guys. If financial fair play, as much as we can wish it, we have a corrupt SAFA, we have a corrupt PSL. As much as it can be implemented, it's also gonna cripple Ebola late Lalamzans. Bexele, Sundowns guys have produced so many players. Guys, we cannot run away from these things. Pesitao, Zungu, I can count you more than 10 players that Sundowns has produced, not bought. You understand? The Chiefs used to produce players, they stopped doing that. And then when we stopped doing that, that's when we started struggling. It's not about buying players, it's about producing quality, and we are struggling. We manje Pirates has just brought in Lomfana Lona, Uban Lomfano Dlalayolo, and Chiefs as a player on the bench. Ushabalala is not playing. We cannot come and say no, it's money. No, it's not about it. You cannot buy talent, guys. You grow it. But back to your topic, but I'm from Mpumalanga. I'm seeing Teska for the Kabanga. It took me 2 days to know which team yala Mpumalanga try Teska Lax. So I'm ashamed to say that, but to be honest with you, Fetu, I used to love the Mpumalanga play cases, by the way, but I'm a Chiefs supporter from growing up, guys. You cannot buy support. You cannot buy support, Fetu. Chiefs is user friendly. Chiefs siyakwata sihleke kube mnandi. Chiefs is not just supported by us alone. Chiefs is supported South Africa, Africa. I mean, there are people from Botswana who are supporting Chiefs. There are people from England who are supporting Chiefs. It's not about the location; it's about your heart as well. And also, Bexel and Petru, in Mpumalanga play cases is the same as Nabe Celtics. When you sell a team, you know, as a supporter, if I was supporting play cases, I know if they sell that team, any team that is going to come from Mpumalanga, if I say I'm going to take a risk and support it, Ungathuka by 5 seasons or 4 seasons from now, Uzuk Galaxy is relegated, is being sold already. You understand? So as much as you can desire to support a team, guys, it will never work. Because I'm to team Bexele Soweto Pirates team out in the same town we are Chiefs, so I support the Pirates, I support the Chiefs. For me, it's a matter of your heart, not your location. Like there are people who are traveling from Limpopo to come and watch Sundowns play. It's not about location, it's about the heart. Even though, and another thing, I like what you just quoted. Even though you can come to the stadiums, if the team is not user friendly, if the team is not doing anything to the community, I mean, I can make an example now. Do me a favor after this podcast. You go, you check ETS Galaxy on Instagram. Tell me what you find. There are teams that are just there, just for Ubuti, they are just a team. Area corner there's nowhere to be found. Why do you want me to leave a team that I can go on Twitter now and say Kaizer Chiefs? People are bashing it, people are saying, I can relate to that. I love controversy. I'm not gonna support the team in shadow. Come on, guys.
No, I hear you, my brother.
Invisible team, guys. Come on.
Let me bring in Samara. Kick Samara. Welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good, OT, and you?
I'm okay, my brother. We've got the question for the night. Why are we not supporting our local teams? Tolumuntu ubuya Monty, mara ufavor Chiefs instead of the Golden Arrows. Why is it?
Yeah, yes. I'll start by saying what like the passion in football is going down the drain. You understand? Someone did say like with like passion value like day by day is going down. Cause OT, if we can check, me and you growing up, we grew up under Kaizer Chiefs that had Pat Komafani.
Yes.
A pool crowder.
Yes.
We grew up under a Sundowns that had Goldfinger Shakwan.
Goldfinger, yes.
You understand? A month before those teams could meet, talking about Chiefs and Sundowns, you already know that on this date, these teams are going to meet. For a Rothmans Cup, for a BP, for a league game, you already know because they are all over media teasing each other about the game. Irrespective of other fixtures that will come in between. But they were advertising football. You understand? For Nalwana, no OT and everyone else, since Pat Komafani left Kaizer Chiefs, we only know Jessica Mutaung, but there is someone there who's being paid that PRO salary each and every month. I give you that guy.
Kevin.
You understand?
Yeah.
So,
Alfred Vina. Alf Vina. He's the communications manager. They changed it.
Yes, I don't know. I don't even know his name. You understand? So that like it looks like at some point, kids on a football and then like we see other teams, they should have learned from Kaizer Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns just by looking at Pat Komafani and Alex Chakwan. You understand? We used to have like Kuku Cape Town. There was Santos, there was Seven Stars, there was this other one barking, Cape Town Space. You understand? In one region. sharing a stadium or maybe Atlone and other stadiums. But we know like Cape Town, we have 3 teams. You understand? It's already rival. But nowadays you see like teams like, for example, no Soko Pitoriki team is a pedi fella, whereas like Pretoria has a massive talent of footballers out there. You understand? Limpopo Leona like as Jewish as it is. Like maybe even 4 or 5 teams in the PSL alone. You understand? Competing for at a bigger stage.
Yeah.
So marketing, like Ebola football, and then OT. This thing it goes back, my brother. I just wish like one day go like and then kick up in person, over a bottle of champagne, and then go share some things. Like as a club footballer lover, and then someone will overthink them, or like, oh maybe no, or jealousy because for that team and that team. Understand? But as a football lover, you'll understand like itaba Let me bring something to you. I don't know if like I'll be running away from the topic. Forgive me. We no longer have Jomo Son. Yeah, we no longer have Jomo Son PSL. A person who used to provide all players, I mean all football teams PSL, any kind of players. You understand? Kemo Valley Nuso. 90% yeah the players more value like they were there back in the days but and then if you can go check or like go PSL everyone of them will mention or no Jomo Sono had a hand. Understand? Today we no longer have Jomo PSL and then they made it a point where they cut him out or like as provider all those teams player and then only for a certain team to benefit. So Kikamulo like one guy mo panel did say or like the football is already captured. And then like it's not a one day thing like okay capture all of a sudden. It takes time. It takes time. Understand? So but to go back to your question, I think Kaizer Chiefs so far are not challenge in terms of like marketing. I in a challenge in terms of marketing up to so far. Because irrespective of whether you're Jewa or you're winner, even like we all know her like I saw winning cup for the last eight seasons. But like the support is there. Yeah. I was so proud this era this era match like some young school kids or maybe they're from a college or somewhere. That is a marketing on itself. You understand? But these teams we really need like the likes of Patko Mafani, the likes of Goldfinger Shakwan, and then even the Mutautanel Jessica Mutaum on those teams to market their teams. To market their teams. Kajeno Uklaba Toba Chipa United because of the guy. I give it back to the community. Instead, he's begging for the community. And then how do you build a relationship out of that? And then Gasa no Toka air support of understand? And then like cheaper right now is playing beautiful football under this guy Morgan.
Pound for pound.
So imagine the kind of crowd. Yeah, the kind of crowd like in a pool. Netlo measure even Celtic at some point. But just because of like I give it back to the community, another relationship with the community, so I go break a fell. And then we're not gonna like our football is not gonna grow. It's not gonna grow. You'll have someone like from Cape Town or Limpopo as actually more like he's from KZN, but to support the Kaizer Chiefs. And then Amazuli Tenkwa, Erosi Tenkwa. Why not support those teams? Because there is no this thing like working friendliness towards like the community.
Okay. I hear you, my brother. It's actually great what you're saying because I remember at home. Remember City FM, and there was a time every week, Shakwane, Patko Mafane, Bobby Mtaung himself, they would be on the radio, Chomani, almost every single day, 8 o'clock in the morning. They would be speaking to each other. Popster, Chomane, they'd be speaking about these things. And now it's meant to be a lot easier because you have so many different platforms that could do this. Mara, let me bring in Sinje. Sinje, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
All right, man. How are you? How are you, Bro Georgie?
I'm okay. Today When am I going to see that other account? But it's fine. Tell me. Tell me, why aren't the local teams supported by by people local to the teams?
Because what is displayed by them on the pitch does not warrant support from the people that are surrounding the team.
Okay.
That's one, the honest truth. What is happening on the field does not warrant support from people that are not, in particular those that are not football lovers. Must understand, all of us are Chiefs supporters, not because Chiefs is big, but because we were pulled, dragged by what was happening on the pitch by this particular club.
Okay.
When Chiefs played football, beautiful football, we celebrate with the masses in terms of what is happening on the field. Chippa United is in the Eastern Cape. I stay in the Eastern Cape. But what is it that I must support? They are not in the MTN.
Support to Pramogen.
No, you can't. Support does not come, Jay, because it is there. You must earn it. Chippa United wins MTN 8, beats Kaizer Chiefs, is going to get support. Chippa United wins Nedbank Cup, they're going to get support. Chippa United plays football that is going to win the league, they will get support. But if Chippa United, all these small teams, are just playing football that is to sustain to sustain their status at the PSL, they're not going to get support. The third one is that the teams that are in I'll make an example with Chippa. Chippa is not an Eastern Cape team. Mbengeti happens to stay in the Eastern Cape and bought Bay United.
Yeah. Then they went to Cape Town for a little bit.
Yeah, and then he came back with it. There is no team. If you look at Chiefs and Pirates, these are teams from Orlando. They started in Orlando. They grew in Orlando. They became these monsters they are and dominated the rest of South Africa. If you look at all these other small teams, it was only Celtics. Let's look at Celtics, for instance.
Yeah.
How many small teams can we say are Celtics? From Bloemfontein, created a culture in Bloemfontein, took that culture to the big stage, which is PSN, and dragged the people along. That's what we need. We need small teams that are going to graduate, that are already familiar in the small towns that they exist in, to put money into those teams and ensure that those teams go to the PSL. Maybe we need to adopt what is happening at America in the MLS, whereby they make sure that each and every province has a team that is in the big league that they call extension teams that cannot get relegated, and so that because now they are coming with the culture of the province, they are coming with the knowledge of the football. The sad part about what you are talking about is that support does not come all willy-nilly. You must earn support.
Yes.
You can give free t-shirts as much as you want. But the reason why you are speaking about Bull Boss supporters, it is because Blue Bulls are playing good football. We used to support Butter Bulldogs because they used to dominate the Curry Cup. They used to beat Natal. They used to, small as it is in the Eastern Cape. We need those things. We need Chippa United that is going to be competitive in the PSL. Beat these teams, and trust me, support is going to come. But if they're just existing for the sake of existing, what's the point of me supporting it?
And I think, but it goes back to something that we've spoken about a few times. Well, you looking at it from the quality of the game. I look at it from the marketing side, where I'm like, I've used this, for example, this. Every team can afford every team can afford this. How many teams have TikTok accounts? How many teams have social media accounts? When you're scrolling, I give Jessica praise, because when you're scrolling on TikTok, when you're doing whatever, you will bump into something at Kaizer Chiefs, official at Kaizer
Yeah,
Chiefs. You get what I
yeah,
mean? You will jump
yeah.
in, no matter where you are, Facebook, Twitter, wherever, something official at Kaizer Chiefs is going to come up on your timeline. Then I think to myself, how many times do I see Chippa United throughout the day? How many
Yeah.
times? How many times do I see Richards Bay throughout the day, Golden Arrows? It's very little. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
So,
but you can't market you you can't market something that does not exist. The reason why cheese is marketable, it is because it exists in the field. It exists there in the field. Chippa United have been chopping and changing coaches like nobody's business because they do not exist in the agent area where it matters the most. You want to promote a child that is a swimmer. That child must be able to swim and beat white kids.
yeah.
You can market that child and you can market it anyway. The reason why Banyana, and I wanted to agree with you on something that you spoke about. The reason why even the Springboks are marketable, it is because the Springboks are winning in the field. That is why they are able to. Now we can. My electricity app tells me when Springboks are playing. Like
Yeah.
the reason why I downloaded this app was for you to tell me when load shedding is happening. Now you are telling me that the Springboks are playing in 30 minutes in an hour's time. Why? Because the Springboks are marketable because they are
and
winning.
and and also those things are coordinated. I think that's what we miss. Those things are
Yes,
coordinated. So whoever's in charge of
yes.
Springbok marketing went to Eskom, Sepusha, whatever app you use, and they said, guys, we're doing 1, 2, and 3. When they go to Spy and whatever, they go and approach these people and say, guys, now I'm a shed. When Springboks are playing, you must wear these things. When they go
Yeah.
to Supersport, they go to whoever and they say, guys, when Springboks are playing a month before, whatever, this is what we
Yeah.
want to do as a country. But the problem with
Yeah,
our
because Springboks are
football,
champions.
but besides that, if I don't know what Springboks is, like if I've never seen Springboks
Okay.
play, I know Springboks are playing. You know what I mean? If I don't
Yeah.
care nothing about the Rugby World Cup, I remember during the PSL, one of the PSL games, they showed before the match started, they showed a big Springboks thing. The Springboks are playing Zbanban, what, great, ne? Then I'm like, Banyana are champions of WAFCON. They're going to the World Cup. Not once did I see a banner. Not once did I see anything. And I'm like, that's where we miss it. We miss it by coordination.
All right.
You get what I mean? You
I
look at
agree.
Chiefs. When Chiefs started, before we even knew, when Chiefs bought e-license in Niger, I forgot there was a team in Niger. Ude Lipnen said to Kaizer, we are going to do road shows. You are famous, Kaizer. You are going to do road shows with this team. We're going to play every local team that we can across the country if we can. They used to have girls in miniskirts sell jerseys, and they had to climb up a thing. And then now you find, like, they made sure that at least on marketing, there's a lot that's happening. But I feel like with these teams, you're not giving me quality on the pitch, but you're not even doing things. You get what I mean? Like, there should be a billboard that says this is cheaper country when you drive into a certain part of the Eastern Cape, for example. You get me? When you go into, just like with the Springboks, right now, my checkers, that's here. When I walk into checkers right now, they're wearing green Springbok. It's not even Springbok things. It's like some weird thing, but then it's in the Springbok colors. All of the cashiers are wearing them. And I'm like, these things are coordinated. You know?
But you know what? I think Chippa made a mistake when he decided that he's going to put Chippa United in PE, which is good. The stadium is bigger, but he gets more support outside PE. I think that is why he actually was contemplating on moving to East London, because when he plays in East London, he gets maximum crowds. Which is something that I agree with you when you said take some of these games to the smaller stadiums, the stadiums that are in the township, because that's where people want to watch. I can go to Sisa Tukashe because I'll be spending 20 rand, 30 rand,
Yeah.
40 rand return.
Yeah.
But to spend 300 rand, 600, 300 to PE to watch a Chippa and Sundowns match when Chippa is not even playing, proper football in the field. I can stomach a 50 rand because the stadium is going to be packed, whether you go to Absa Stadium or you go to Statogacha Stadium, where it gets full. And when he wins, you can see the result and the attitude in the stands, the atmosphere. People are celebrating when he actually does well. So I think that he also, at the same time, that he does not capitalize on the little support that he has. He does not. He does not capitalize on and build on it. Because the truth of the matter is that PE is not a soccer town. Yes, it's a big town, but they're not soccer lovers. Like the rest, like Mtata. I know someone was saying, yeah, he's from Mtata. Mtata, they used to have Mtata parks, so they used to have this idea of supporting a soccer
Football,
team.
yeah.
Yeah, you go to Tanzania, there used to be Dodgers, Hurricanes. Those are clubs that we know how to go to stadium and watch soccer. But Port Elizabeth is more like a rugby and cricket town as well. So that also plays a role in terms of support. You need to have a base in a town that is familiar with supporting a soccer team.
Okay. I want to just bring back King Samora. I think I'm looking at the time. Can you give me your closing statements for this? Because honestly, I believe that it comes down to that. And when I think about it, when I think about my Chiefs support, and I don't know about everybody else, when I think about my Chiefs support, I have memories of watching Chiefs come to a 3,000 seater, 2,000 barely 2,000 seater stadium and bring full first team, I saw Gordon Egerson with my eyes when they were playing Ajax. I did all that stuff. I think about when I turned on Iliseri FM, I used to listen to Upobi himself speaking to Chomani almost every morning when it's holidays. I look at Chiefs right now. There is nowhere where I can turn where I don't see Chiefs something, yeah, Chiefs. There's nowhere on social media where you can go, outside of the stuff we make as fans. There's work, man. And some of these things don't cost so much money. Chippa United, Lamontville Golden Arrows, on Facebook, you can literally take 200 Rand and do a targeted advert just for Lamontville Golden Arrows, just for Lamontville. If you wanted to, Mara, I keep up on it. But in any case, what are your closing statements for tonight about this?
OT, just to add on that, recently, we had a laughing stock, no, because Rafeta Jiwa Mabane, and then Varibiza Ing, the Simba Chiefs. You understand? Kaizer Chiefs is the first team in Naki Hudileng, hence you mentioned, is the first team Naki Hudileng, like they have a blanket. You understand? They have a sweater. They marketed themselves very well. Everywhere you go, even if you hate them, but you and then you end up falling in love with that brand. You understand? So many things, man, like they destroy over time, and then this thing. I want as defend because like I get it right now we are on the back scene. You understand? Balor like they're within the structure. They know what like our football is captured. Honestly speaking, our football is captured OT. Because like as we mentioned, like Bupat Komafane, Bo Alex Shakwan. Let's go back a bit. We had this Ajax Academy, Hokai Hupola. The catch me if you can kind of a slogan. You understand? It was producing players. Even players from all over the country, they wanted to go to Cape and be part of that academy, that brand. Just to like a football thing, we had this thing Pumelela or Pumelelani, ya Pretoria Super Sports. Where are those things? And then we no longer have like the Glad Africa. We have the ABC Motsepe League, of which is doing nothing. Honestly speaking, is doing nothing. The only thing more than a quality player. Remember, like a Hernelen Tola, like more NFT. That's why the kind of like Bolo Tsolonyane Batule Moten, the Togo Mudise came out of that league. You understand? Today we have the ABC. I'm not jealous against the guy. I'm not jealous against the guy. He might be doing something good, but that something is not benefiting everyone. So I guess what can be done honestly to go back to how it was. But in terms of football marketing, Kaizer Chiefs will always prevail. I compete at all. Any other teams, Bagana Zamora, success Sabona and all those things in order to match Kaizer Chiefs. But like the brand is marketed on itself and then it's well there to stay. You understand? So another thing, OT. You saw Barkiman, this guy, Pereira. Yeah, it's Pereira. Right before he left Bafana. Remember what he said? Open many football streams. Open many football streams. Maybe in a province you have maybe maybe four regional streams in a province. You understand? Because like in Mpumalanga is big. I have 4 regional leagues there. Limpopo is big, and then in that way you are growing your football, you are marketing your football, and then my fellow like maybe for teams they look like they're aligned with Sundowns, they're aligned with each and every PSL team, and then the football in that way it can grow, and then the marketing. Also, no, Chiefs it's a pull crowd. Or look like cheaper, or even the TX Galaxy, Bashapa full house of stadium, 94,000 seaters, but later. Hosna supporters are Chiefs, Hosna supporters are Pirate. Understand? But just because of like our football is captured, there's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do, honestly.
No, I just wish they could capture it simple, man. Even Hali capture it. Like, I think
exactly
the problem that I see is that everywhere in our football, whether it be the coaching, whether it be the marketing, whether it be the stadiums, whether effort, but also you can see teams that are doing the work and you can see teams that are not. For example, Mamelodi Sundowns is doing work. What the branching, what they're doing work. I remember bumping into Ubudau randomly go UP campus on a Tuesday. They're doing work, and we're going to be surprised 3, 4, 5 years from now when everybody is supporting Sundowns, when all the new kids are supporting Sundowns, just as what happened with Kaizer Chiefs. But some of these things, what gets me, it's so easy. It's so easy. You don't need, back then, the Tonso drive, SAPC, Patko Mafane then had to drive, then he had to do this, then he had to show up there and show up there. Now you can do everything just from here. How about it? You can do everything just, can you imagine what Patko Mafane would have done? If he could have the internet, the social media, he would have gone crazy, Kayona. Yeah, bo Miki, bo Alex Shakwan. They would have done great. Guys.
Man, these guys are there just for paychecks, man. Like, what's the OT? Now, honestly speaking, let me brief up something. I started out mu PSL ke favor like Amazulu. Understand?
Okay.
And then it came out or like ke kopanele maina bo tshwana le bo Dr. Khumalo go bafana bo shoes mushweng. And then I followed up or like these guys. Which team are they playing for? Understand? Luckily enough, on one particular weekend, Chiefs was playing Amazulu. No, Kilo Bola Amazulu, not knowing who Kopana, the very same Dr. Kumalo, or attracted Bafana. And then that's when I became a Kaizer Chiefs supporter. But to tell you the truth, LT, I nearly became a Sundown supporter just because of how Alex Chekon was always dishing other teams. Understand? Bringing out that vibe. These guys, the Goldfinger moment. I was like, Mara, who's this gentleman? Only to find out, no, it was part of it, but on Mamelodi. By that time, I was in Mamelodi. So those things are gone. Hence, right now, you just said, or like PRO Kaizer Chiefs. I even forget or like Ikimang, because I don't know him. Understand? And I don't know him. The work that you said Sundowns is doing, OT, I so wish these teams can just wake up and then just before these guys maybe talking about Kaizer and Tatem Taung and Motsepe leave this world. And then by the team is up on the stadium. Up to so far, we don't have any of those big teams. So not the owner stadium. Sundowns is not owning Loftus. Sundowns is not owning Lucas Moripe. Those stadiums, they are renting them. Patkamu big team. And then, okay, yes, you are right. Sundowns is doing the work. Understand? But let them wrap that work ka o ba le stadium sa bona, and then kore bona more than kore ba tlo ba win the Champions League times 10 mo metlhong a rena.
Hi. No, another day, guys. I'm looking at the time. I'm going to close it. Thank you so much to the panelists. Thank you so much, King Samora and everybody
Thanks, man.
that has jumped on. We're going to look at the MTN 8 tomorrow. We'll go through what the coaches have said in the press conferences and speak about preview of what's going to happen in that game. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for joining me. I think for me, in closing,
Okay.
it's work, guys. It's work. Oh, sorry, Samora. It's work. You know, I am trying to grow a platform. I understand that it's work. I understand that there's some things that I might not want to do. There's some things that I feel uncomfortable doing, but it's part of growing a platform. So I have to reach out. You know, I have a show every day. I do this, I take out content, I do all of that because I understand that when you're growing those things, you have to put in the work. But if I was like any other TikToker or any other YouTube guy, let's say, and it's once a day, there's not a quality to it, there's not a this, there's not a that, I can't expect people to start following this platform and start engaging with the platform if I don't put in the time. So it has to be the same with these PSL teams. You can't expect to sell jerseys if you can't come in and give us something. Why am I buying a jersey? You can't expect sponsors to come in if you can't tell me why a sponsor is coming in to get this thing. There's so many things that these teams are just sitting in the corner and hoping that because they're on TV every now and then before Chiefs and Pirates and Sundowns matches, their games play, every now and then we might bump into the thing by force on 202, that maybe something's going to happen. I want you guys to really, really take note of the work that is done by the other sporting codes. We speak about rugby all the time. Guys, the Springboks are at a World Cup right now. I'm sure today, just today, you've bumped into something, yes, Springboks, at least maybe 10 times. At least maybe 10 times. And those things are coordinated, they're planned, they're partnerships, they've coordinated this thing. Banyana went to a World Cup. How many times did you see Banyana stuff? How many times? Even on SuperSport itself that had the rights. How many times? Some people didn't even know that Bafana was playing friendlies. But when the Springboks play, I know about it, you know about it, everybody knows about it. I don't even follow rugby like that. So these things are coordinated. You don't just wake up with support. You don't just wake up with fans. You don't just wake up with a full stadium. Chiefs had to do so much work. Guys, Chiefs, when Kaizer and were driving all over the place, they had to do so much work in order to make sure that you have the Chiefs that you have today. When you look at what Jessica does and Kemiso does on the digital marketing side, the amount of times you bump into Chiefs things is not by just fate, it's planned. They work on these things. So our teams need to do more. You can't just sit and complain about, we're not supported, we're not what. Why must I support you? It's the same thing when we speak about the conversation about Sundowns signing everybody. Hey, all the star players. Okay, I'm a star player. I've got Sundowns, I've got my other team. Sundowns is offering me money, offering me Africa, offering me a chance to get better, offering me a chance of maybe going overseas, let's say. What is Team B giving me? So now again, instead of doing the work, you're now asking me to do you a favor. Instead of why must I stay? So why would a star stay at Team X? Why would a fan support Team X? What are the reasons why? Are you showing up? Are you doing anything? Are you in the community? There's plenty of ways to do this. West Ham right now is dominating a lot of the social media accounts of the biggest teams in the world because they found a way in. But hey, Mapiano use some of those things. They realized that okay, South Africa is a very big social media market. We can trend worldwide by going there. They found a way. I don't think they're spending as much as City. I don't think they're spending as much as everybody else. You know, guys, social media age is even easier. You know, you could pay 200 Rand on Facebook and you can target exactly where you want to target with anything you want to target them with. 200. You're telling me those teams can't do it? Come on, guys. Come on. Exactly, Ntsikelelo. We all watched Celtic. And we were like, yes, sis, that is incredible what they done. But Celtic did so much work behind the scenes before Celtic was the Celtic that we knew. By the time we saw Celtic, everybody knew what Celtic was in Bloemfontein. Everybody knew. By the time. That's why it looked like a vibe. But nobody's telling you about the hard work. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Velila, apologies, my guy. Apologies. OT, it's easy. Ask yourself how many white players play in the PSL and why. Current football changed. Besides that, Lodwick, I'm just saying that our teams aren't doing work. I can tell you now, Sundowns with their branches, they're doing work with those branches. Student branches, they're doing work. Real work. How many times have you seen, for example, those clips of the podcast? Yeah, Tompo and Teko, that pitch side thing. How many times have you seen those clips? That's work. That's placement. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for joining me. Tomorrow, 12:30, we're going to speak about the MTN8 final and also make some predictions for the weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to everybody who joined me in the comments. Apologies to those who couldn't make it in. Apologies. You'll make it in on one of the other days. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys then tomorrow. And Zalama, Fanani, thank you for the gifts. Thank you so much for the gifts. Okay, guys. Please remember that you can catch any of the stuff. If you want to watch it back or watch any of the other episodes, they are available on Facebook and YouTube in full, as well as some other content. I released a video today on YouTube and on Facebook. So if you please support me there. And also on TikTok as well. There is a video I put out now, the PSL week. So please support me there. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 12:30.